Batman, one of my all-time favorite characters.
I don't think this guy needs any introduction. This character is so famous that even people who aren't fans of the superhero genre have probably at least heard about him.
Ever since his debut back in 1939, Batman has been in just about every source of media,
Including comic books, movies, cartoons, and also of course video games.
However, from what I've heard, before the Arkham series, Batman had a pretty poor track record when it came to video games. Kinda like Superman.
Anyways, Rocksteady Studios were given the rights to create a Batman game, and they knew with Batman's poor video game track record in mind, they couldn't just make a good Batman game and call it a day. Oh no. They wanted to make the best damn superhero game they possibly could. And they did. Batman Arkham Asylum released in August of 2009 and was met with huge praise from critics and fans alike. And to this day, it is still viewed as one of the greatest superhero games ever made. But why is that? Well, let's find out. So the game begins with Batman returning the Joker to Arkham Asylum after he attacked the mayor of Gotham City. However, he is a little suspicious since he mentions that the Joker went down almost without a fight. So Batman decides to make sure Joker makes it to his cell.
And as he suspects, Joker escapes after they're separated by a security gate,
And with the help of Harley Quinn and his goons, who were transferred from Blackgate after a fire, takes over the entirety of Arkham Asylum, locking in Batman, Commissioner Gordon, and the staff.
Welcome to the madhouse, Batman! I set a trap, and you sprang it gloriously!
Joker runs loose around Arkham Asylum and Batman eventually catches up to him, but then he has to fight off one of his henchmen who seem to be mutated by some kind of drug. The henchman then dies as a result of the chemical being unstable, which comes as a disappointment to the Clown Prince of Crime.
Joker then tries to get Batman to break his no-killing rule by throwing a batarang at him and knocking him off the platform. But Batman refuses, even though he didn't hesitate to do it like 5 minutes ago. Anyways, Joker escapes and mocks Batman for being predictable. Joker then reveals that he has Commissioner Gordon hostage thanks to the help of one of his inside men, Frank Bowles, who he ends up killing anyways.
Batman then tracks Gordon to the medical facility, but before he can rescue him, he has to rescue a couple of doctors first. But once they're rescued, he finally gets back on Gordon's trail and then, oh! He dies. Well, that took a dark turn. Then as Batman is searching for the killer, he then finds the bodies of his parents and then... As it turns out, Scarecrow was just screwing with Batman's head using his fear gas.
Anyways, Batman then takes down Harley Quinn and then frees Commissioner Gordon. Then they head downstairs, and all of a sudden they find Bane, completely drained of his venom, the drug that gives him his super strength. It turns out that Dr. Young, one of the doctors that Batman rescued earlier, was experimenting on Bane. Joker then gives Bane the drug that was used on one of his henchmen from earlier,
and then Bane breaks free, ready to break the bat.
But this time, Batman breaks him.
Roadkill!
Batman then heads to his Batcave, which he constructed underneath Arkham Island discreetly somehow, and investigates Dr. Young's files, which were sent to him by Oracle. He learns that the drug that Bane was using was called Titan, which Dr. Young created as an upgraded version of his Venom drug. And as it turns out, Joker, under one of his aliases, Jack White, hired Dr. Young to create the formula for him. But when she finds out that Joker was the one who hired her to create the formula, she tries to back out and hides her formula in the Arkham Mansion. Batman then heads to the Arkham Mansion, finds Dr. Young's formula, and destroys it.
Oracle, I found Dr. Young's formula.
Great. So does that mean you've stopped Joker?
It's never this simple with him.
Batman then hears that Victor Zsasz has Dr. Young hostage in the Warden's office, so he heads there to save her. But then suddenly the corridor turns into Crime Alley and Batman witnesses his parents being murdered. Wait a minute! Oh god damn it, Scarecrow! So yeah, Scarecrow gasps Batman again, and Batman defeats him again. He then heads to the warden's office and saves Dr. Young from Victor Zsasz. Dr. Young then informs Batman that the Titan production facility is hidden in the botanical gardens and that the key codes are in the safe. But Joker rigged the safe to blow and the explosion kills Dr. Young and destroys the codes. As Batman regains consciousness, he then realizes that he's surrounded by Harley Quinn and Joker's men. Harley Quinn then escapes with the warden and Batman beats up Joker's thugs. Batman then rescues the warden, who gives him a code sequencer,
which Batman then puts into a device that looks like a bootleg Nintendo Switch. Anyways, Batman can now use this device to shut down the security gates in Arkham Asylum. Batman then takes down Harley Quinn and scans her fingerprints so that he can use them to locate the Titan production facility in the Botanical Gardens. Batman arrives at the Titan production facility where he is greeted by the Joker, who has enough Titan to infect the entirety of Gotham City. Even though Batman destroyed the formula earlier, it hasn't stopped Joker from trying to make the Titan himself. Joker then escapes with a supply of Titan, but not before giving a dose to each of his henchmen, and despite their enhanced strength, they are still no match for the Dark Knight. Batman then realizes that they created the Titan strain using a venom plant hybrid, and with no other options, he decides to look for Poison Ivy, who Harley Quinn freed earlier. Batman then finds Poison Ivy, who informs him that there's a plant growing deep beneath Arkham Island, which can reverse the effects of the Titan strain. But there's a catch. It's in Killer Croc's cell. So Batman leaves Poison Ivy with a warning.
Go back to your cell, or I'll be after you next.
Batman? Why don't you just put her there yourself? So as Batman is leaving the Botanical Gardens, Joker finds Poison Ivy and then injects her with the Titan formula. But instead of mutating her, it mutates her plants and they immediately take over the entirety of Arkham Island. So along with stopping Joker, Batman also has to stop Poison Ivy from destroying Arkham Island. Again, why didn't he put her back in her cell when he had the chance? So Batman heads back to the intensive treatment building and then... What the f***? Oh great, my brand new Xbox Series X just broke on me. Wait a minute. Why am I at the start of the game again? And why is Joker in the driver's seat of the Batmobile? And why is Batman the prisoner? Oh, for f***'s sake, Scarecrow! So, Batman fights his way through one last Scarecrow nightmare and then finally makes it to Killer Croc's lair, where he finally confronts the real Scarecrow, who threatens to flood the caves with his fear gas to prevent Batman from reaching the plants he needs for the Titan antidote. But before he gets the chance, he is attacked by Killer Croc, who drags him into the sewers. And that is the last we see of Scarecrow. Or so we thought. Batman then navigates his way through Killer Croc's lair, collects the plant spores he needs, and then escapes Crash Bandicoot style. Batman then heads to the Batcave where he manages to create the antidote, but only manages to synthesize a small dose since Poison Ivy's plants attack the Batcave and destroy the Batcomputer. Batman survives the attack of course because he's Batman, and then he equips his Ultra Batclaw and heads out to find Poison Ivy. As Batman is heading back up the main sewer junction, he notices that it's flooded with Titan. Joker still plans to infect the entirety of Gotham City with his Titan formula, and he intends to do so by dumping it into the chamber which releases the water into the Gotham River. So Batman has to put a stop to it, which he does in no time flat. When Batman returns to the surface, he notices that Poison Ivy has gotten significantly stronger, so he has to stop her. When Batman confronts Poison Ivy, she summons a giant killer plant that looks like it came out of Resident Evil 4, and Batman defeats the both of them using his explosive gel. As Batman glides out of the botanical gardens, he notices fireworks coming from Arkham West. It turns out that Joker is using them to lure Batman to the penitentiary for his final surprise. Batman then arrives at the penitentiary cell block ready to finally confront the Clown Prince of Crime, who then reveals that he has Commissioner Gordon again. Joker then tries to shoot Gordon with a Titan dart, but Batman takes it for him. Joker gets excited to see Batman turn into a mindless monster, but Batman is able to resist the change. Because he's Batman. This really pisses Joker off, and after Batman foils his plan to infect the city with Titan, he decides, F it, and shoots himself with a Titan dart.
As the news helicopters start to arrive, Joker emerges from the rooftops as a hulking monster, with a half-beaten Dark Knight in his claw hand. Joker is still trying to get Batman to give in to the effects of the Titan drug, but with no other options, Batman injects himself with the last of the antidote, which comes as a surprise to the Clown Prince of Crime. Batman then fights off the Titan-powered Joker with the help of his Ultra Batclaw, and then eventually delivers the final blow.
You can't beat me. I'm actually going to win. Ready for the next round?
Always.
What?
I'll never let you win. Never.
With the Joker defeated, order is finally restored to Arkham Island. All of the inmates are returned to their cells, including the Joker, who was left severely injured after his fight with Batman. Gordon and Batman have one last conversation before Batman hears on the radio that Two-Face robbed the Bank of Gotham. Batman then leaves Arkham Island via the Batwing and heads back to Gotham to continue his night of crime fighting. And that was Arkham Asylum's story, and wow, it gave me a lot to talk about this time around. But overall, it was a really good story. It was actually written by Paul Dini, who was one of the writers for Batman the Animated Series. Also, speaking of the animated series, Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill reprised their roles as Batman and the Joker from the same cartoon. And they are both amazing. They are hands down the best voices for these characters.
There's no escape, Joker. I will find you.
Ooh, I'm counting on it. Just not yet.
Arlene Sorkin also reprises her role as Harley Quinn. She's great too, but personally, I prefer Tara Strong's take on the character. I know I have a very unpopular opinion, but that's just how I roll. As for the rest of the voice cast, I'm not going to go over all of them since I'd be here all day and this video is already long enough as it is, but they all do a great job too. Tom Kane does an alright job as both Commissioner Gordon and Warden Sharp, and Wally Wingert, aka Q-Bot from Sonic Colors, does a really good job at voicing the Riddler. Oh yeah, I forgot, Riddler's in this game. Kind of. Near the beginning of the game, Riddler will hack into Batman's comms and task him with collecting trophies and solving riddles, which he has scattered across the entire island. These are really just for unlocking challenges in the challenge mode and unlocking achievements, so unless you're interested in those, I really don't recommend going after all the Riddler secrets. But anyways, enough about the story, let's finally talk about the gameplay now. Batman Arkham Asylum features two different gameplay styles, combat and stealth. During combat, you fight off a group of thugs, and even though your moveset is pretty small when compared to the later games, you're still given more than enough moves to take on Joker's henchmen. And I actually quite like the simplicity of the combat system in this game, as it doesn't overwhelm newcomers with dozens of moves to try out from the get-go, unlike a certain other superhero game. So while I do prefer the combat system in the newer games, I really do like that Arkham Asylum keeps things simple. Anyways, during combat scenarios, Batman can strike enemies, stun them with his cape, and even counter their attacks.
You can also use a quickfire batarang or batclaw during these scenarios. Also, as you progress through the game, you will earn XP points which you can use to buy upgrades. And 2 of those upgrades are the special combo moves. When your combo meter reaches 8, or 5 if you get the upgrade, Batman will be able to perform one of 2 special combo moves, a simple throw or a standard instant takedown. Also, as you progress further through the game, you will encounter enemies with knives who can block your attacks, so you will need to stun them first before attacking them. You will also come across enemies with stun sticks who you will need to attack from behind. And as for the Titan enhanced thugs, all you need to do to beat them is just chuck a batarang at them when they charge at you. So yeah, that's the combat gameplay. And again, while I prefer the combat system of the newer games, I still really enjoy the combat system in this game. Now for the other gameplay style, the Predator gameplay. During these scenarios, thugs will come into the room with firearms, so attacking them head on isn't such a good idea. So you'll have to take them down stealthily. In each Predator room, there are conveniently placed gargoyles which you can use as hiding spots, and you can survey the room using your detective mode. Detective mode is sort of like an X-ray vision. It allows you to see enemies through walls and ceilings, etc, and it can highlight weak walls for you to blow up on enemies using your explosive gel. You also have a bunch of takedowns to work with. A simple silent takedown, a ledge takedown which isn't as quiet but it's satisfying as hell to pull off, and of course, the best takedown in the entire series, the inverted takedown.
Hey, get off me!
So yeah, both gameplay styles were very well executed and are satisfying to play. However, I cannot say the same for the boss fights. These are the only parts of the game that are disappointing. Bane's boss fight is literally just like every other Titan boss fight in the game, and during the Titan Joker final boss fight, you literally just fight his henchman and then occasionally pull him off that platform with the backclaw. But that's not to say that there aren't any good boss fights. The Scarecrow boss fights are actually pretty interesting. You have to sneak around Scarecrow's nightmare world and then shine the bat signal on him to escape. I also love the encounter with Killer Croc where you have to sneak around his lair and collect the plant spores. But watch out, because even if you're quiet, Killer Croc could pop out at any moment. And even though I've been playing this game for 7 years, this boss fight still creeps me out every time I get to it. That's what makes it such a really good boss fight. Also, I just realized this as I was writing the script for this video, that the only 2 good boss fights in this entire game are the stealth-based boss fights. The soundtrack to this game is fantastic. Nick Arundel did such a great job with the soundtrack of this game. It really fits with the creepy atmosphere of Arkham Asylum, and I love how during the stealth sections, the music gets more intense as Batman takes down more thugs, and the ones who are left become more and more scared of him. So yeah, once again, Nick Arundel did such a great job with this game's soundtrack, and he will continue to be the sound director for every DC game developed by Rocksteady. And that was Batman Arkham Asylum, and over a decade later, it is still such a fantastic game, and I still loved it 7 years after my first playthrough. The game is available on pretty much every console, including PC, so check it out if you're interested. And that was my review of Batman Arkham Asylum. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see y'all later.